Damn.
Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked off, who actually made business, bank exchange, created dollars in real black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like
But
everybody.
I never seen him do Miss Lopez like that. And when J-Lo was around, I used to always just call her Miss Lopez. He would do the flirtation and like have a lot of girls around and then try to play her like that, but you know, she would check that.
Damn. Shout out to Magic Johnson, a real black billionaire who wasn't all freaked off, who actually made business, bank exchange, created dollars in real black neighborhoods so real black families could have that opportunity just like everybody else. But I never seen him do Miss Lopez like that. And when J-Lo was around, I used to always just call her Miss Lopez. He would do the flirtation and like have a lot of girls around and then try to play her like that. But, she would check that. Jaguar Wright has built a reputation as one of the most fearless voices when it comes to exposing Hollywood secrets. She doesn't hold back, and over the years, she has made claims that have rattled the music industry. Recently, she dropped another bombshell, this time aimed at Sean Diddy, Combs, and his infamous parties. According to Jaguar, these gatherings were never just friendly social events. They were carefully orchestrated experiences filled with drugs, cameras, manipulation, and powerful figures pulling strings behind the scenes. But what makes her revelations even more shocking is the claim that some celebrities walked away from these parties not just with bruised reputations, but with damaged health. She says that many female stars were compromised, caught up in a dangerous environment that exposed them to lasting consequences. According to Jaguar Wright, Diddy's parties were not random nights of fun. They were organized with precision. From the lighting, to the music, to the linens on the furniture, everything was chosen to create an atmosphere where boundaries could be pushed. Guests were reportedly supplied with drugs and alcohol in endless supply. Wright even claimed that IV fluids were provided afterward, almost like the aftermath of a battlefield, to help guests recover from nights that were too much for the body to handle. Uptown Records started with 5 people: Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest-working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al, and almost died. Ain't that interesting? That is interesting. Heavy D was found dead face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know that they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas. And then the next thing you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died, and I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning, so gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed. But she says this wasn't just about excess, it was about control. Celebrities who entered those spaces were allegedly caught in a trap. Once they participated, even if under pressure, their actions were recorded. This meant Diddy, according to Wright, had leverage over them. In her words, these parties were not celebrations. They were operations designed to expose weakness and keep people under his influence. If that is true, It paints a picture of Hollywood's elite being less in charge of their lives than the public believes. Instead of being the powerful stars we see on stage, they may have been pawns in a larger game, manipulated through fear, reputation, and secrets they could not allow to get out. When Jaguar Wright talks, she doesn't speak in vague terms. She names names, and those names are some of the biggest in the industry. She mentions Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Cassie, Young Miami, Kim Porter, Jennifer Lopez, and Mary J. Blige as women who were connected to these gatherings. Each of these stars has their own legacy, their own image, and their own following, which makes the allegations even more explosive. Advocacy. I advocate for Jennifer Hough. Part of the reason why I advocate for Jennifer Hough is because it disgusts me what has happened to her life. See, when she was 16 years old, she was unfortunate enough to be raped by knife point and cut by Kenneth Petty, who was also 16. She was threatened. She was bullied. In the end, he said, fuck. And he cropped a plea, attempted, but it landed him on the registry list. By the way, he is a level 3 offender. For those of you who don't understand how it works, this is how it goes. Teacher with Jaguar, first tier. Level 1, second, you 10 years. Level 2, they gave you 20 years on the registry. Level 3, you're on it for life. For life. For life. That's her husband, a whole ape monster sadist deviant who likes to whittle on his women. That's her husband, right? Jennifer was his victim in the 9s. She moved on with her life, had children, everything was fine, until this Nicki. Now he married Nicki. He, Mr. Minaj, right? So he moves from New York to Los Angeles and decides he doesn't have to register anymore. Well, he ends up getting busted for it. He gets booked. The fans catch on. The blogs catch on. And then the next thing you know, they find out he's got a conviction. Then they start researching who's the victim. And now Jennifer Hough's name is drugging to the all over again. The Pettys decide to engage her, offer to pay her to recant her story so he can get off the registry. Imagine a listen to me. I know you got cut, baby, but this is what I need you to do for me. You know, long ago, look, I'm about to get you this cash. I'll give you yay stacks, yay racks. All you gotta do is just go back to New York State and tell them that you lied and recant your story and everything, and I'ma hook you up on the back end. You gon' be great. This woman made it through this, moved on with her life, and then the next thing she know, her name is all over the blogs. She ain't even know. Somebody approached her daughter. Then her family started getting threatened again by their quote-unquote alleged gang ties and friends. She was literally minding a business and got sideswiped by fame. How unlucky for her. Very. That her assailant married someone famous and now drug her all back into, on the male side. She points to figures like Jay-Z, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Usher, and Stevie J. These are not small names. They are titans of music, people with careers that span decades and influence that goes global. To say they were present at parties with such dangerous reputations is enough to ignite endless gossip across blogs, YouTube, and social media. What makes this even more complex is that being present does not mean they participated in anything wrong. But in the public's eye, once a celebrity is linked to these kinds of environments, the lines blur. People begin to wonder, did they take part? Did they know what was happening? Did they look the other way? That doubt is enough to stain reputations permanently. Jaguar Wright's boldest statement is that some people left these parties compromised. She says viruses were being spread in the shadows of Hollywood, and some celebrities may not have even known they had been exposed. Her claim is that certain male stars are undetectable carriers of serious diseases and are spreading them throughout the industry. What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy that the world didn't know? What did you know back then, 3-4 years ago, was going to come forward? So what did you know about what, explain?
Yeah.
But if I explain how I knew Cassie was going to come forward, that could hurt some people, which is why the last time I sat on this blue couch, I said what I said. Congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did. You did say that. It's a bar. You said that. Did you see something being around Cassie? Did you see anything being around? I don't spend time around Cassie, and I haven't seen Cassie in person since she was with Ryan Leslie. Was there something in her eyes that you saw the way like now? I'll put it to you this way. There are mutual acquaintances between her and I, and that's as far as I can go. Okay. I don't talk to her, but I speak to her. Did you get a chance to see her indictment? What she claimed happened? Oh no, I reviewed, all the files, and everything that she said is everything that I said with Storm Monroe 3.5 years ago. Exactly what I said it was. Were you surprised about anything that came in? No. Wow. So nobody else should have been either. Young Jock, you Diddy do-bop. Music, you, because you told the truth. Jock, and then after Diddy called you, you went back and tried to clean it up. But you're about as off the Stevie J's. You Diddy do-bop. Do you feel like that's the reason why this beef, that Stevie J stands where he stands between the beef with 50 Cent and Diddy? I don't know where Stevie J stands. I only know Stevie J sitting on a drum set, or I don't know where he stand. Man.